Alright guys, you should all be getting better with your strums. We're on some more advanced strums. And these seem to give people a lot of trouble. But once you get the feel of them, you're able to do them with ease just through muscle memory. And it's a really good feeling to be able to play along to anything, even if it's a complicated type rhythm, and have confidence that you're locked into it. So let's go ahead and play this one using power chords. The reason we're going to do that is because there's some muting that we have to do. And playing open string muting can be a little bit tricky. So for example, if I'm playing G and I want to go, there's a lot of movement that has to happen for me to make those muted sounds. I have to lay my hand across like this and then come back to the chord shape. I'd rather have you guys do a power chord, for example, then just release the pressure and then you have muted strings. Now some of you guys might not be able to mute across all the strings like I'm doing, so what I want you to do at first is just go to the biggest two strings, okay? So let's go to the E string and the A string, and let's play the 5th fret and the 7th fret as a power chord. Now it might sound a little bit clunky until we get to the bigger chords, but here's what it's going to be. Here's the first strum. Very strange, isn't it? We have sort of a weird thing happening where our strumming hand is just continuously moving, and our fretting hand is doing this fretting, release, again and again, just to sort of get this rhythm happening. So watch as my strumming hand does not stop, but my fretting hand does all the work. Hopefully you can see from this angle over here, my fingers fret and then they release just enough to just touch the string, so you get a dead mute sound. All right? If you do too much and you let go, you have open strings, which you don't want. So you want to go from a nice fretted sound to a dead sound. Okay, so let's bring the arrows up on the screen. And what I want you to do is we're going to go really slow and we're going to make contact with the string every single time. But on the blackened in arrows, we're actually going to fret the notes. The other ones are just going to be mutes. So keep that in mind. Okay, so the first one will go like this. Downstroke and we hit the notes. Release the pressure, so you're going to mute the next couple. Upstroke, muted. Downstroke, muted. The next upstroke is going to be fretted. Release the pressure, downstroke, mute. Upstroke, mute. So if I go back to the beginning of this part, it sounds like this so far. That's all it is. If you speed it up, you start to hear the strum happening now. Okay, let's walk through all the arrows now. I'm going to go very slow at first, and then we'll speed it up later. 2, 3, 4. Watch those two downstrokes, okay? So the two towards the end that are darkened in. You could really get a feel for where you're at in the rhythm by those two downstrokes. Because the other ones are a little weird because you're going down and then up and then down. It feels like you're off balance, but the down, down brings you back to earth, okay? So let's do that again, kind of slow. Go. And that's the end of one strum pattern. You may have heard this in the song Faith, for example, George Michael. It's a great feel, but it's sort of hard to grasp. I know a lot of people who try it look like this. It's really awkward, so you want to make sure you get that continuous hand action happening. Okay, let's go back to where we were, and let's speed it up a little bit. 3, 4. Okay, now remember, you can always pause it, go back to the beginning when we're doing it really slow, or you can just follow along if you've gotten this far, that's fine. Let's move on to the faster speeds now. I don't expect you to get here right away, but if you're ready, let's do it. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's going to be the faith strum, I guess we can call it. Let's go to the next one.